Morning all, welcome to another episode of the Kiwiway. What we're up to today is putting in a new mailbox. So here's a new mailbox. It's a in-wall type mailbox. So we're going to create a new column outside the gate, and so there's going to be 3 high, as you can see here. I've laid all this out, corner edges that we used for the wall, and then I've got some extra leftover bits we're going to use to fill in. And so what we're going to have to do, the first level is just going to be like this. The second level, we're going to have to cut the back out for the back of the mailbox to go, and then this front one, front and back piece out for the mailbox to sit on. This screws on the front here, so you got something to pull that open. You can see here, as you close it, any mail or parcels would drop down the bottom. You've got a little thing here to push letters in if you want. At the back here is a compartment. So here's our existing mailbox, and I really want to put the new one in the same position. So the first thing we need to do is get this and move it over, probably up to here somewhere, for a temporary solution. Then we can dig in here and make the footing for the new mailbox. Here we go, we've got the old mailbox in the ground here, temporarily done. That'll be fine. I've still got the rock there that will fill in that hole once I completely finish with that. And as you can see here, we've got the hole dug already, put some reinforcing in there, and then we'll pour some concrete up to the top of that. So yeah, it's looking good. There we go, reinforcing in. Now we're ready for the concrete, and that'll be tomorrow. It's going to be a frost tonight, so we don't want to do concrete when there's a frost. So that should be a good footing for the letterbox. So there we go, we've got the footing done. Concrete poured and flattened out, all ready now for that to dry, and we'll get stuck into putting the blocks on next weekend. We had a little bit left over, so I just shoved it there, and that should help the mailman when he comes in. Once the old mailbox is removed, he'll be able to drive in there and without making holes in the grass. So from the measurements of the mailbox, this is the top layer. I need to cut down 250 across and up for the mailbox to sit into there. And the back side, it will actually stick quite all the way through. So I need to cut both those off. So there's only going to be a little slither here, and that's going to be all cut off, and the mailbox will sit into the back of that. In this one, which is the next layer down, we need to cut down a little bit where the mailbox actually sits in the bottom of this piece too. So those are the cuts we need to do. So 8 cuts all in all. This one needs to be a right angle. I'll probably have to get something in there to cut that little bit, a last little bit, because the saw is a circle, but that's fine. We'll make do with that. It's not a problem. And yeah, so it's about getting stuck in and cutting these up now. So I've got all my blocks up here, just dry fitting, make sure everything's going to work. Seems like it would. I have made a little mistake here. I might have to trim this down here a little bit more. I didn't take into account the gap for the mortar when I was doing my measurements, so that's sort of a bit of a mistake there. And same for the last piece that will go up here. By the time you add the mortar in, it's just a little bit thicker, so I need to think about that, but that's all right. Other than that, all the cutting that I did yesterday seems to have gone very well, and it should sit quite good. The mailbox should fit in there. So it's a very foggy, frosty morning here. We're going to fill up the bottom of the mailbox with cement, concrete, to make it secure. So that's the job of this morning. And hopefully later on this afternoon we might be able to fit the mailbox, and we need to make some cuts and bits and pieces for it to work properly. So get it fit in a little bit. That's all right. So here's what we have, and basically we'll fill it up to just there. So the bottom, just over a bit and a half of the mailbox will be full of some concrete. The top piece, basically the top piece here, unfortunately will be, well, it's all mailbox, so yeah. So the way we're making this cement is 6 to 1. So we put 3 buckets of builder's mix in. So this is builder's mix, which is basically a bit of sand, fines and metal. And so we put 3 full buckets of those in, and then a half a bucket of cement, so that's 6 to 1 bucket of cement, and then we add some water. And the water really depends. Normally the water would be about half a bucket as well, but it depends on how wet the builder's mix is. In this case the builder's mix is quite wet. We've had a lot of rain recently, so we probably won't put a good half a bucket of water in, because that'll be just way too much, make it way too choppy. So we've got 3 buckets of builder's mix in there, and now we're just going to do half a bucket of cement. So I'm going to open up the cement, so when we open a bag up we then stick it in here, and that keeps it dry, nice and dry, a sealed bucket. So we'll just tip half in there and then get some water going. Probably a little bit wet, but it's going in the bottom of the mailbox, so it doesn't matter. It's not like it's finishing concrete or anything. This is exactly the perfect level. Because the mailbox itself actually has a couple of drain holes on the bottom of it. And so what I'm going to do is this mortar joint here is going to just cut that out, so any water that gets in here will come into the bottom of this. The mailbox bottom will be this level. Any water will then flow out through the mortar joint, which I'll cut in here later on. So, and if any water gets in the mailbox, it will be able to drain. There's drain holes in the bottom of it, and it'll be able to drain into here. So we don't really want it any higher than what it is anyway. So perfect amount of concrete. This is where we put that extra bucket in. Half bucket, wasn't it? Half bucket. So just looking at test fitting this thing, and we just need to take this little ridge off here. It doesn't cut very well. And as well as that, the letting box has got these little screw holes that stick out. That's when you stick the faceplate on, and it screws into those nutserts. And so we just need to put a little slit in here and here for those to work on both sides. And then we should just be pretty much all good for fitting. So let's get into doing that. So it's a little bit tight. As you can see, the nut inserts here won't go back, so this won't go back. So just need to cut a little slot there and down there as well. And same on the other side, there and there. But this up here is quite close. I'm gonna skim something down there as well. It's actually got a gap at the bottom, but not so much at the top. So I'll just take a little bit off there, and round the back here. There's a gap at the bottom, but very little top, so I'll just take a little bit to even that up. The other side over here is good, everything else is good. That's sitting down. There we go, we've got all that. So it's really just the top to go now. Just a little bit of finishing clean up, but it's looking pretty good. Mailbox is in. These don't have to support anything, they're just for looks really, because I've got one big piece that goes all the way across and they'll just sit on each end. I've still got to put the cover back on the thing, but we'll wait for that to dry and I'll clean everything up first. And there we go, all done. So the only thing left to do is actually seal it, but I need to wait a month before you can seal the block, let it sweat a bit out in the rain, and then put a coat of sealant on. So this is the letterbox there, but this is actually a parcel box. As you probably can see, as you put something in there, it actually drops down to the bottom. It's not there anymore. So around the back here, got a key, unlockable. There we go. So there we go, we've got a parcel box now, which matches in with the rest of the entrance that we've got.